Hello, welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Today we are going to solve some word problems using a system of linear equations by the substitution method. Let's take a look at the word problem here. It says here, a math club has 30 members. Let's underline some important information. So a math club has 30 members, okay? The number of girls is 6 less than 3 times the number of boys. Do we know how many boys we have and how many girls we have? No, we don't. We need to find out how many boys are there and how many members are girls. So because we do not know the number of boys and the number of girls, let's just call the number of boys X and the number of girls Y. So let's call the number of boys, the number of boys, let's call that X. And the number of girls, let's call that Y. The number of girls, let's call the number of girls Y. But we know that the number of boys and the girls together combine to be 30 members. So let's set up the first equation. We need to add the number of boys, which is X, since we do not know it, plus the number of girls, which is Y, equals 30 members. So the first equation is X plus Y equals 30. That's the first equation in our system of equations. Let's take a look at the second equation. It says here that the number of girls, which is Y, the number of girls, which is Y, the number of girls, which is Y, is, in math, represents equals. So the number of girls is 6 less than 3 times the number of boys. 3 times the number of boys, which is X. 3 times X. And now we have the second equation. Now we have a system of linear equations. And remember, we are going to solve it by the substitution method. The substitution method is telling us that either X or the Y has to be by itself in either of the two equations. And if we take a look at our system of equations, we see that the Y is by itself in the second equation. Y equals 3x minus 6. So remember the steps. We have to box everything that comes after the equal sign. And now we need to bring that box into the Y at the top equation so we can get rid of the Y. Remember, the Y was Mr. Dobrescu, your teacher, Mr. Dobrescu. And then the substitute teacher is replacing Mr. Dobrescu for that Y. The box is replacing that Y at the top. And let's see what we have. Let's take a look to see what we have now. So we have X. So we have X plus, instead of Y, we are going to replace 3x minus 6. 3x minus 6 equals 30. And now we see that we got rid of the Y. We only have the X. Let's combine the like terms. So we have X plus 3x. We get 4x minus 6 equals 30. And now we have to add 6 on both sides. Six minus 6 cancels out. So we have 4x equals 30 plus 6 becomes 36. And finally, we have to divide both sides by 4. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other side. 4 and 4 simplifies to 1x. So we get x equals 36 divided by 4 is 9. But what does 9 represent? X equals 9. X equals 9. But x, we know that it represents the number of boys, because in the beginning we came up with that the number of boys, we call that x. So x equals 9, and 9 represents the boys. So we have 9 boys. And now what do we do to solve the system of equations for y? Remember now, we have to substitute this 9 into one of the original equations to solve for y, right? So now let's plug this 9 into this x here at the bottom equation, and now let's solve for y. So we have y equals 3 times, instead of x we put 9, minus 6. So we have y equals 3 times 9, 27, minus 6, which is 21. Y equals 21. But remember, y represents the girls. So that should be 21 girls. 21 girls. 21 girls. That's it. So now we know that how many boys are there? 9 boys are there. And then how many members are girls? 21 members are girls. And to check that, if we had 9 plus 21, we get 30. 30 members. Okay? So again, please remember, every time we have a word problem, we have to underline important information, right? 6 less than 3 times the number of boys, right? The boys are X, the girls are Y. Together, we have 30 members. And then we set up a system of linear equations. And in this case, we solved it by the substitution method. Let's take a look at another problem. In this case, we have a perimeter of a rectangle is 36 feet. What's our shape in this case? A rectangle. And the perimeter is 36 feet. The perimeter. Remember, the perimeter is we need to add all the sides, all the outside sides should equal 36. So let's draw a little shape here. So let's pretend this is our rectangle. We have 2 lengths. So one length at the top and another one at the bottom. And then we have 2 W's. The width and another width. And we know that the perimeter is 36. So another word will be 2W. So we have L plus W plus another W should equal 36. But if we combine them like terms, we have 2 L's plus 2 W's equals 36. And that should be our first equation in the system of linear equations. So our first equation should be this. 2L plus 2W equals 36. This is our first sentence in the problem. Let's continue reading. The length, which is our L, the length is 2 less than 3 times the width, right? So the length is, in math, represents equals 2 less than 3 times the width. 3 times the width. Now we have the second equation in our system of linear equations. And now we can say we can solve this system of equation by the substitution method. And now we are going to box everything that comes after the L. So we are boxing L equals 3W minus 2. We are boxing that. and we are bringing that box into the L at the top here. Because we are using the substitution method. We are boxing 3W minus 2 and bring it into the L at the top. Mr. Dobrescu is the L there at the top. So instead of Mr. Dobrescu, we need to bring the substitute teacher to cover for Mr. Dobrescu because Mr. Dobrescu is not feeling well today. Okay, so let's solve the top equation. So we have 2, instead of L, we are going to put the substitute teacher, which is the box. 3W minus 2. Now let's continue. Plus 2W equals 36. And now let's use the distributive property. So we use the distributive property here, and we have 2 times 3 becomes 6W. 6W. 2 times negative 2 becomes negative 4. Plus 2W equals 36. And now let's combine the like terms. So we see that 6W and 2W, we can combine them together. 6W plus 2W becomes 8W. 8W minus 4 equals 36. And now we have to add 4 on both sides. We need to bring 4 on the other side. 4 goes home on the other side. So we add 4 on both sides. 4 and 4 cancels out. And we are left over with 8. W equals 36 plus 4 becomes 40. And now we divide both sides by 8. 8 divided by 8 simplifies to 1W equals 40 divided by 8 is 5. 5, and that's feet, right? 5 feet. Make sure we put the feet after the 5. Otherwise, on a test, you may not get full credit. Okay, so W equals 5 feet. So the W equals 5 feet. Okay, so W equals 5 feet. So now, once we get the W, now we are going to substitute the 5 into one of the original equations in order for us to get the L. So let's substitute this 5 into this W, the bottom equation. Now let's solve for L. So now we have L equals 3 times, instead of W, we are going to replace it with 5 minus 2. L equals 3 times 5 is 15. And 15 minus 2 equals 13. And that's 13 feet. So the length equals 13 feet. That's it. And now let's add all of them together and see if we get 36, right? So 13 plus another 13 becomes 26. 5 plus 5 is 10. 26 plus 10 becomes 36. And that's right. Okay? We got the answer. Again, thank you so much for watching. Word problems are not challenging because we have all the tools we need. We created the system of equations, of linear equations, and then because we are experts in using the substitution method, we were able to solve these problems because we used the substitution method. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you in the next video. All the best. Bye.